Alright everybody, so today's video, I'm basically going to be a guinea pig for everybody to see if a budget catalytic converter is going to work. So this is going to be on my Willys. It's actually a 98 Dodge Ram engine transfer case. So it had been losing power over the last couple of months. So I checked the fuel trims, they were fine. Fuel pressure was fine, I tested that. So I said, well, I bet the cat is clogged. So I made this tool to do a back pressure test on it. So I took an old O2 sensor, hollowed it out, cut the end off, knocked the center out of it, found out that 3/8 brake line will fit real snugly into there. So I welded that together and then put a flare on the end to put different ends on here too, and then routed this up to a cheap $10 gauge from Harbor Freight. So if you have more than 3 or 4 pounds of pressure, so what you do is you screw this into the front part of the front O2 sensor before the cat, and if you get a reading of 3 or 4 pounds of pressure at idle or even up to 3,000 RPM, you know the cat's plugged. So in order to get this O2 sensor out, I heated it up and had this red hot, put a wrench on it, and it pulled all the threads out of it. So I couldn't use my gauge that I made to test it. So I ran it down the street like this with basically the exhaust open, or at least unrestricted for that size hole, and it made a night and day difference. So I know that this cat is plugged. So I went online, and since this isn't a daily driver, I got a budget catalytic converter and pipe because I still want to run the O2 sensors for the fuel injection. So then this is what showed up and just looking at this from the box, I said there's no way that this part is right. So here's what I found though. Looking this up, here's what they did. So I did that, and then this pipe, they put a flanged end on it, and then that will go up and meet that one. So it is the right size, but look at the size difference in the converters. Put this. So this was about $250 off of carparts.com. So the sensors are in the right place, the tubes look good. You know, this extra piece, I can deal with that, that's fine. Comes with a hanger, and the rear O2 is in the right place also. So I'm gonna bolt this up and test it out and see how it works. Okay, so actually that's just a slip fit. So we'll either clamp or weld that together. So here they are together. They are bent the same. So I don't mind trying this, and we'll see if it works. I don't know what a new one costs from the dealer, but it's probably got to be about $1,500 or so, I would think. So we'll see how this works. Get this oxygen sensor out of here. Nope.
Oh, that hurt a little, but I'm all right.
This is a 1-inch, half-inch socket. It's just spreading the socket open. Nope. Alright, well, I guess we're going to get a new oxygen sensor for the rear too. So on this exhaust, I put it up in the truck where it's supposed to go. The bends are all really good. Bolted it up to the flanges tight. Put some tacks in it, and then I'm going to weld this tube on. Put it back up, and then we'll weld this end to the muffler. This budget exhaust fits up here pretty good, actually. There's plenty of space around everything. I got about at least an inch and a half of clearance on all these pipes. That bolts up nice. Got clearance here. Goes up against the bell housing pretty good. So, all right, now weld that together. Put the O2 sensors in it, and we'll take it for a spin. Another problem I just found is this hanger. It's not going to work. So it's too long in here. But what we can do is maybe just find out where to bend it, heat it up and bend it, or cut it and weld it right here. So we're about, what, 2.5 inches off. There's no way to move this exhaust any closer to the frame because the muffler's only got about an inch I could go over, and that's where it was before anyways. So I know this hanger's off. I'm going to mark it on this edge over here. So I'm going to cut it right here. And then cut this off and then weld a piece on going straight back through. just going to weld this piece right to here. Actually, all I could do is let's just weld that right to that. Yeah, that's better. Couple extra minutes on that to make that fit, but that turned out okay. Only thing left now is oxygen sensors, and that's it. Alright, so I went and got 2 new oxygen sensors for this system since they were both frozen into the pipe. So I'll put these in, and I'll start it up and see what it sounds like. Pretty straightforward, just screw it in, get it tight, plug it in. It does fit really nice in the correct location and snaps in on top of the transmission transfer case. It's definitely louder, and that's, I think, only because the original cat was so clogged it was really muffling it down. Maybe we'll cut this apart and see how plugged up it is, but it actually sounds better now. I love it. So alright, no check engine light. Alright, so let's take this thing for a ride with this new exhaust and see if it made a difference. So I just got back from a run on the highway and got pretty close to triple digits on the highway, so that's a fix. You're done. Now let's go over the prices on what this cost. Here I've laid out the prices for what this cost. The catalytic converter was $284. The front O2 sensor was $57. The rear O2 sensor was $76. I used stainless steel bolts to bolt the pipe up to the manifolds. They were $15 altogether at Menards. So the total tax and shipping is $432.
So here's the pluses and minuses of this also. The pluses are it was cheaper than a dealer part and some parts stores catalytic converter prices. It fit well, it runs good with no check engine light, it's fairly easy to install, and it could be installed without a welder. The minuses that I found were it's smaller than an OEM cat, which means it may not last as long as the original, and I had to cut and weld the hanger right by the cat also. So let's see what this would cost to have done at a shop. Going to our Napa repair estimator. We'll put in 98 Dodge Ram 1500. Go to engine, powertrain, engine and transmission, and then catalytic converter replacement. So here you can see the prices that it would cost to probably have this done in a shop, anywhere from $743 to $1,774. So you can see we saved quite a bit of money by doing it myself in the garage.
So I cut the pipes off of this converter to have a look in here, and the honeycomb section is completely broken free and it slides around like 4 or 5 inches by itself. So that's what's in there. So this thing is this close. So it's no wonder it was so plugged up, moving around like that. So it's been about a week, and so far it's running really good. So that's going to do it for this one. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.